Hi everyone, it's Marianne, and I'm just checking in to let you know how things went the last couple of weeks and how my first checkup went, my first adjustment went, and explain all the things that he did. Well, actually, all the things he didn't do. So first off, let's just explain that I went in, it was a week ago, little less than a week ago, and I went in for my appointment, and I was really disappointed. They didn't change the wire at all, and unfortunately the gal who, I had to have two brackets put on, one down here on the what was it? Oh, yes, there was this one tooth. What was it? I think it was the crown, and it wouldn't hold the bracket, so he left it off, I believe, and so I had the wire just sticking out, and it was almost like a cheese slicer, and kept cutting into my cheek. So right before I went in, my cheek just had like this permanent wire cut impression in it, and it was driving me nuts. And when I would chew food, when I would bite, if it was something crunchy or something, it would kind of bounce on this wire, and that was annoying, and it would kind of pull out a little bit, and I'd have to get it put back in. So they put the bracket on that tooth, and if it was the crown tooth, which I think it was, the gal didn't do the crown adhesive, and so naturally I went to sleep that night, and sure enough, by morning, the glue had just popped off again. Okay, so that's part one of the appointment. The other part was he had to put a bracket back on up here where I had had some fillings done a couple of weeks ago. And it was really no big deal. They stop, when they take the wire off. It's so nice because they let you go and floss, which is really great because it's so hard to floss anyways, and that you brush your teeth and use mouthwash, and I'm really glad that they do that. So, and then at that appointment, they put basically the same strength of wire back on. So I was a little disappointed, and I sure would love to, work on all this, my teeth, and get the teeth to touch and things like that. But she said that the rubber bands come much later. Right now, they're just trying to untwist the teeth and things like that and get them in a better alignment and not so crowded. So, as you can tell, it does seem like my upper jaw is moving really nicely, and I got gaps. I'm starting to get gaps between the different teeth. However, my bottom jaw doesn't seem to be doing much of anything, and there's like a, I don't know, it's like a car wreck or train wreck or something where these teeth are just all like, too crowded and buckling and things like that right in this area, which made it really hard for her to get the wire in, and she had to call over the orthodontist who is left-handed so he could kind of push the wire in. And the other thing they did do, this was different, was they changed out some of my rubber bands to wire bands. And I think that was to keep, I think that's to keep the wire extra tight on the brackets, so that, it's more flush up against the teeth, so the teeth are forced to kind of come out from their crooked spots. So anyway, so he was left-handed, and he's trying to push the wire, and he's like trying to do the wire tie with his right hand. He's like, oh, well, I didn't think about that. So it was just kind of funny. The other thing I'll tell you really quick is I did get the light blue rubber bands, and I really like them. They seem to make my teeth look really white. And right before I went in, I felt like the teeth parts above the brackets were just getting really yellow, and it was horrifying to me. I don't know why that was. I have no idea. But anyway, so I've been brushing like crazy and flossing and things like that. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Okay, so the part that's a real problem right now is this area down here. And I don't know how well I can get a close-up, but let me try. And that's the side that I have the crossbite. And so finally, this wire is coming around that tooth that's kind of tipped outward, and hopefully that's going to start getting it pulled in. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like my bottom teeth are doing a whole lot, but hopefully, you know, I'm sure they know what they're doing. The first evening, we went and saw The Hobbit and tried to eat. You know, we went to the mall and things like that. And I tried eating some Thai food, and I couldn't crunch the cabbage or the vegetables. And so that was kind of disappointing, because that's like the one thing I really miss right now is some crispy vegetables, it just hurts too much to bite them. And I even cut up an apple into slices, and that was like, I couldn't bite here, couldn't bite here. I had to break them up into little tiny squares because it's so sore to bite. It's not so bad today, but I can definitely feel some tension on this tooth now, which is good, because this tooth is the only tooth that touches of all the jaw. Like, that's the only place where my jaw closes, is right here. So, and I will show you my overbite, which to me, it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to just like swallow and go up over the braces. So let me show you that. So I still have the bumpers. Sorry about that. And I still have the, I guess the crossbite, because the teeth don't line up. But I guess it's not terrible, but, you know, I'm sure they'll deal with it. So I really like the light blue elastics. You can see how much whiter the teeth look, and I've only had them for, like I said, not even a week. So, and I haven't eaten any Italian food or anything with tomato sauce. So I don't know exactly how well they'll stay not stained, but let me show you how great they look. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the light blue elastics. And somebody had asked me about what the brackets look like in the back without a band. And I can try to show that to you. I'm not sure how it'll work, but let me just try. So you can see that you really don't have to have bands in the very back. And the reason why they really don't like it now is because the food and stuff can get stuck up underneath, because the band's not a perfect seal around the tooth. And so if there's like little gaps and things, the food can get stuck in there, and then it causes all this decay on those back molars. So I'm really happy that they don't do that, and I'm you know, that's a thrill. Oh, should have told you. Yeah, I'm sure you saw them. Yes, I have spacers here around this crown. Let me show you those. And they're just white spacers, and the reason is, in case this bracket pops off for a fourth time, then they'll have to put a bracket or a band around that tooth that will hold the bracket. And they really don't like doing it. In fact, they don't even have the bands available at the office. They don't even buy them anymore. So my dental or orthodontic assistant, she said she might have some at one of the other offices and she can bring one down or something. So I'll wear the spacers for 2 weeks, hoping that the bracket seal will hold. And if not, then I'll have to get a band around it. And they, crowns don't decay, so it's not so much a problem with that one. And I don't think it'll show too much. I mean, you got braces, stuff's going to show. They all show, really. So I'm not terribly worried about it. I just want to get things going on down on the lower jaw. And it's just kind of frustrating. I kind of wish they'd, done a stronger wire, but they're doing what they're doing, and it is supposed to be slow and gradual. You don't want to do it so fast that, you mess up your roots, and then, or, your tissues can't hold it in place for any period of time. And so slow and steady wins the race, so to speak. So, well, that's about it. That's all I can think of. And I hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.